This is Rick Rule for Rule Investment Media, sponsors and producers of the Natural Resources Investment Symposium in Boca Raton, Florida, July 23rd through 27th. This is another in our ongoing series of CEO interviews. The purpose of these interviews is to allow our attendees to be familiar with the people and the companies who will be exhibiting at the Natural Resources Investment Symposium. Long-term attendees will know that every public company exhibitor at the conference is owned either by myself or in an account owned or managed by myself. And every service provider, bullion dealer, coin dealer, investment dealer, is a company where we have received no negative comments from our customer base over time, which is to say anybody who is a provider of a service who has delivered a bad customer experience to any of the Sprott customers during the time of our stewardship of this conference will not be admitted. I am delighted in this interview to welcome Ken Lewis, CEO of APMEX and CEO of One Gold. Disclosure of conflict, we were prior partners in One Gold. We've co-founded One Gold, both at the corporate level, Sprott, and at an individual level myself. And I have also done business with APMEX, and further, I have visited the APMEX headquarters in Oklahoma City. So that's the disclosure of conflict. Ken, first of all, welcome to the interview series. Thank you for doing it. And thank you, too, for your ongoing efforts to support the Natural Resources Investment Symposium.
Oh, we cannot be happier to help out, Rick. We really do look forward to talking to your clients and educating them as much as we can about our company. And obviously, they don't need to be sold on gold, hopefully. So it's more about what type of gold and how to spend their money the right way and invest their money, right?
I suspect that you'll find our audience is fairly familiar with gold. Exactly. And you're going to be talking about two services here and two services in Boca Raton. So let's start with APMEX. Describe what APMEX is as a company and describe the benefits to buyer. Explain to me and explain to my audience why in all my years interfacing with customers, I had never received any complaints about APMEX.
You know, look, APMEX was founded about 25 years ago. We are still owned by the same guy that founded the company 25 years ago. 300 and some odd employees, done upwards of $18 billion in transactions. And I like to think of APMEX as kind of the Amazon of precious metals, right? We really do a great job of offering a wide assortment, a great experience on the website. We answer the phone when you call, which is a really big deal in today's world. Take care of those issues when they do develop. And we're just really good at it. We've got over 30,000 products on our website. Most of my competition might be lucky to have 5,000 products. We offer collectibles. We offer modern coins. We offer more traditional bullion. And we also offered a way for you to do the business on the phone, do business online, do business on your app, which is a new area for us, about 2 years old, already about 30% of our revenue shopping on the app, believe it or not. And so we try to build, Rick, we try to build an ecosystem that allows you to shop the way you want to shop, get the information you're looking for, and then provide just tremendous service, right? Whether it be how fast we ship it, how quickly we answer the phones, how we deal with those exceptions. It's really about building that relationship. We're very, very proud of the loyalty we build for our customers. Over 2 million customers have registered with APMEX, and our loyalty is like no others in the industry. We take care of them, treat them right, and ideally are here as a resource as they want to make different decisions along the way.
I was amazed in my visit to Oklahoma City to see your physical facilities, and to see your inventory, which allows me to believe that if most people order any of your 30,000 products, that you're going to be able to ship from stock as opposed to have to drop ship somewhere else. Perhaps you could describe that aspect of the business and describe your physical facility in Oklahoma City too, which I think is important.
Yeah, we're very unique. We're actually in a formal Federal Reserve building, which, there's only so many of those in the world, right? So, or in the U.S. I don't know of any other precious metals operator operating in a formal Federal Reserve. We've got over 9,000 square feet of vault space. We got vault doors from 1923. We've modernized the technology in our infrastructure. I mean, we're holding almost $300 million in inventory at any given point in time in our business. One thing we take great pride in is we do not sell product we do not own. There's a lot of individuals in this industry where capital is king, and they need your capital as a customer to then go procure the inventory to then ship you the inventory. APMEX doesn't function that way. We own the inventory straight up. And we'll sometimes put inventory on pre-sale, but that inventory's been procured and we're just waiting for its arrival because the check's already been written. So it's unique. I do think our operation, when you got 30,000 products, but you're working in an 8,000 square foot environment and you're trying to have all the different slots and keep that inventory accurate, it is a work of art in many ways for people to see what we do and how we run that. We're very efficient at what we do. I mean, we take great pride in over 80% of our orders paid with a credit card, shipped same day. You know, that's Amazon service, right? And you're getting it from a little precious metals company here in Oklahoma City. And when I say little, I mean, I think we're the largest in the U.S. Right now at over $2 billion of revenue last year. So it's not that we haven't worked at this really, really hard to be good at what we do.
Ken, most of your business, as I understand, is direct ship to customer, where the customer is responsible for their own storage. Do you have other options, though? Or if somebody wants to come to you with a segregated or non-segregated storage, is that something that you can afford for them?
Yeah, we do. And actually, we do it with Brink. So our setup in that arrangement, we call it Citadel today. And maybe, we're actually brainstorming how to make it a part of One Gold, believe it or not, but we'll talk about that later, I'm sure. But what we do in our deal is typically a customer has an option when they check out. They can decide to have it shipped to their home, or they can decide to have it shipped to Brinks, it's held in a city, Salt Lake City. I'll share where the city is at least. Held in Salt Lake City, all segregated by customer. So it's not a case where there's a pallet of Silver Eagles and you own a tube of those. It's your products fully segregated in its own locker. At any time, I can go and audit that and actually send a third-party auditor there once a year to truly do a true inspection of it, just to make sure that product's always present. Again, with Brinks, great partner of ours. We've been doing that for, almost over 10 years now. I think our AUM at Citadel today runs about $250 million, where, we're holding $250 million of customers' money. Small percentage of what we do, but frankly, a lot of customers don't want the risk of holding metal in their homes and would rather be held somewhere where it's secure and frankly easy to liquidate. That's the other great thing about it, as you know probably, is when you go to sell the inventory, when it's sitting in my vaults at Brinks, I can literally write a check to you in a matter of a day and never have to worry about shipping the product, back and forth between customer and APMEX. We can liquidate you right there on the spot and take care of you.
Well, that's important that you offer a way out, not just a way in. Let's move on from APMEX to One Gold. I've always been intrigued with the One Gold business model. So perhaps you could tell us what One Gold does for a living and what services One Gold might offer up to our attendees.
Yeah, look, One Gold was our attempt to take the ETF model where you normally buy online, buy through your brokerage, but provide a little bit more security and confidence the metal is truly there. But do it in a very modern, engaging user interface that's super, super, super intuitive. I joke with people, and maybe we'll even demo this at the show, that you can literally go in and buy $10,000 in gold in less than 30 seconds if you want to, right on your phone. It's that simple. The product it's a pooled product. So we're holding typically 400-ounce gold bars, 1,000-ounce silver bars. They're held in a vault, audited by a third party, and you're taking fractional ownership of that bar. How that benefits the consumer is they're getting it at a dramatically lower cost versus trying to buy retail-ready product that would be shipped to your home. And when I say dramatically lower price, 10% of the price of retail or even lower a lot of times on the premium side. So what's beautiful about One Gold is the metal's there, it's audited. You can take delivery, meaning you can convert that to a retail product if you want to at any point in time. And you can trade 24/7 right there from your phone, get in and out of metal as you need to. So it's our attempt. It's kind of like, and it's a kind of a bad word in some ways, crypto. But what crypto did do is it provided some interfaces and some ways to transact that are becoming more commonplace. And we just applied that to gold in a much more secure environment than what you typically see in crypto.
But it's important to note that the One Gold certificate holder, if that's the right phrase, isn't an unsecured creditor of One Gold. That
Correct.
They actually have title to real metal that's their metal that they can in fact redeem. It's when people talk to me about non-segregated storage, too often I find out from the contract that in effect what's happened is that the investor has become an unsecured creditor of a dealer. If you don't have an audit on the dealer, from my point of view, that's not a particularly secure form of ownership. I think that's a very important feature of One Gold and what drew me as an investor to it.
Yeah, and I probably should mention that, Rick. I mean, it depends on the listeners, what's important to them. But to your point, having title, having it properly audited, having the ability to always convert that to something shipped to your home, and able to do that on a moment's notice, all integrated into one platform. A lot of companies, I don't want to name companies because that's not probably a good thing to do, but there's competition out in the world that they say, oh, you want to redeem? Oh, you mean you want to take the metal? Yeah, let me put you in contact with Joe, and all of a sudden it turns into this massive effort, and they're overcharging you for the product. And we're very transparent. We make it easy. And look, I think it's less than 2% of all products redeemed right now. But just knowing you can redeem it, knowing you can take possession at any point in time, knowing you have title. Matter of fact, in my lending agreements with my banks, One Gold is carved out. That is not my ownership. That is owned by my customers, and the banks know that, and it's fully segregated, so where that metal always sits by itself. So it's truly protected the way we've designed it.
You know, Ken, I can't speak for my attendees, but for me, I own precious metals to enhance my peace of mind, my sense of well-being. I think they're going to go up, but that's not why I hold them. I hold them for insurance purposes. And this whole idea that my ownership becomes more secure goes to precisely the reason that I personally own physical precious metals. And I suspect that's going to be true for most of my attendees and customers. Ken, one of the things that I've encouraged people that I do business with for years is to develop relationships with human beings as opposed merely to relationships with organizations. Your organization's reputation is very clear, but you're a very large organization, $2 billion a year in revenues. My people want to do business with a living, breathing human being. For those who want to find out more about APMEX, more about One Gold, and they want to do it in anticipation of coming to the conference so that they can use your time efficiently, who can they be in contact with and how can they reach them?
I'll tell you, I'll make it very, very easy. You go to me and I'll put you in contact with the right party. I have a dedicated sales team that does a tremendous job, led by a gentleman named Kelly Milligan, long-term employee of our company, knows precious metals very, very well. I've got Patrick Yip that runs my One Gold platform. Again, be a great resource for you guys to talk to. But I would just give you my email address, kenneth.lewis@apmex.com. I'll facilitate any interest, and we'll do our best to educate you. One thing you'll find about APMEX and One Gold is we're not here to sell you. We're here to educate you, and we're here to support you in your decision making. And I think that's what sets us apart from a lot of sellers out there. We really just want to be here as a resource.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard the right answer. The CEO says the buck stops with me. Call me. He gave you his email address. I can support his statement, too. He has a wonderful staff. APMEX has been named several years in a row as one of the most attractive places to work in Oklahoma City. I visited personally, and I've interacted a lot with Patrick Yip, who I can speak for personally. Ken, thank you for subjecting yourself to this interview. Thank you for your efforts for 20 years on behalf of precious metals investors, but particularly right now, thank you for your ongoing support of the Natural Resources and Precious Metals Investment Symposium.
Hey, we look forward to it.